Hello viewers, and now it's time for a look at RiMS racing on the Xbox Series X. So I'll have some content on the, I've had some on the PC, most of my content has been an early PC build. In fact, a couple of bits coming from a more recent build, not the final build, well probably more recent build, not the final build. And there'll be a bit more on the PlayStation 5. We'll have the odd comparison if you guys are interested in seeing it as well. So first things first then, Xbox Series X running beautifully on the Xbox Series X. Game's looking great. I've seen some comments where people are criticising the graphics in the game, and it's all running nice and smoothly. The bike models are nice, everything's looking pretty good. So in terms of the way it's running on the Series X, obviously I don't have a frame rate counter or anything to detect that, but to me it's looking pretty smooth. They aim for the 60 FPS and it's looking good, and that really helps with the fluidity of the game in terms of being progressive on the throttle and getting used to the sort of the flowing nature of the bikes and the way they work. But I'm going to leave, well actually I'm not going to leave you a bit of gameplay. We're going to take a look now at the Multicam. That was a Canadian track which I like, Monsanto circuit now, again another track I really like, and again we've got a bit of multicam here as well. Otherwise just mix up the different cameras and replay cameras there just to show the different angles on board the bike. There's some great angles to play the bike from on board. They've given you all of the options you need to ride your bike and enjoy it and get the most out of it. Avoiding some of the AI. The AI's a little bit hit and miss on some of the circuits, so occasionally I just sort of avoid them through the first couple of corners, then the race kind of settles down from there. But it all looks great, and again the multicam just gives you an idea of all those different angles as we race round. I enjoy the circuit. It's got a lot of undulation, a lot of challenge to it to maximise the different lines. Very satisfying to play. It's so smooth and satisfying. You can see those apexes and hook the bike up, and if you oversteer into the apex, then you can always make the adjustments, which is not something you can do in other biking games. I mean, for example, in Isle of Man TT, for example, you had almost no control when you slow on the apex. If you're playing Ride, the bike will just generally sail out into wherever, into the barriers if you don't get it exactly right. It doesn't feel right to me. Whereas here I've got this nice balance where I can commit to a corner, and if I get a bit more oversteer or understeer, I can just alter the bike accordingly and position it where I'd like it. The onboard perspective you're seeing here is very intense. I like this. This is nice. Really good vibe. And it all looks and sounds really nice again to me. I'm enjoying it. I think it looks good. I will talk about this, some of the feedback. We're trying to understand people's perspective on feedback of what they like and don't like. The obvious comparisons will be with Ride 4, I guess, for most people. And this is the first development by a new studio, so Milestone have been making games for 15 years. I'm sure if Race War were around 15 years, they'll be producing something very special, because this is the first game off the bat, as it were, is tremendous, and it's great for biking gamers that we've got more than one bike game manufacturer and game developer on the market. It's only going to make it more competitive in terms of getting it just right, as I completely lose it there in the boundaries. So just mistime the corner there. I'm on it now. I kind of go for it for the rest of the race now, like nothing to lose. But either way, just not enough time. Some daring passes, and just flat out. I was taking it kind of easy at that point as well. It's the moment you lose your concentration that you fly off, and you've got to concentrate when you play RiMS. If you just mess it up for a second, you get nowhere. Now what are we looking at? We're looking at a little bit of Laguna Seca. Again, a great track, good addition, nice to ride, nice to play. Positioning the bike felt quite second nature. There wasn't any restarts to this race. You kind of just get stuck in and go from there. So again, more practice required to get good, but looking nice across all the different tracks. So yeah, in terms of graphics, I'm not going to do a detailed graphics analysis here in terms of the game compared to other games. This is mainly just to look at the Xbox Series X version, and there'll be a couple of no comment races going up on the channel as well for those who don't want to hear me talking all the way through it. But overall, replay cameras are nice, the onboards look good, bike models are good, environments are acceptable, in terms of the graphics, lighting and look. They're okay. They're not genre leading, but they're not bad either. I think to come into it with this sort of level of detail is a fine job by a small development team and what they've managed to accomplish. So great work on all of that. But that's it from me for now. I'm going to leave you this last bit of gameplay, and there'll be more from me very soon. Hello viewers, well thanks for watching the video today. Do like and subscribe, it supports what we do. Do become a YouTube member. YouTube Patreon supports all of our content you see on the channel, and of course lots of gaming from retro to modern games. I love it all in terms of racing action. So click on one of the two videos just there to find out more.